this is Don Bedell from R&I, the Lathe company, Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm here to do a quick video for a company called Machining Resources. They're located over in Tennessee. This is a unit that they bought for what I would call lathe chuck handling. So here's the unit, and just want to cover everything on the unit before we ship it over to them. First thing that I'm going to show you is we have an extended handlebar here off of the lift mast, and this is what we call the operator's position. And if you need to adjust this handlebar as far as the height, you can then use these knobs to either loosen it and either move it up higher or move it down lower. The other part of the handlebar is what we call a 4-button remote. So you have fast up, fast on, slow up, slow down. So there's the ability to be able to make fine adjustments when you get the lathe chuck over to the machine that you're going to load the lathe chuck onto. So that mounts to a cradle here that's on the handlebar. The next thing I'm going to talk about would be the power pack, and this is a completely removable power pack. Inside here you have two 12-volt batteries wired in series, you have a controller, you also have an auxiliary card. You also have a voltmeter here that when you press the button to raise the tooling, you'll see that it lights up. And it goes from 5 bars down to 1 bar, and that will give the operator an idea of where they're at with the batteries when you're using the lifter. So that's the power pack, and again, this is completely removable based on the amount of repetitions or times or cycles that the unit's going to be used. We just quoted 1 power pack for now, but a second power pack is completely available. So on the back of the lifter, you have what we call the intermediate section. That's the section between the legs, so there's a top and a bottom. On the back of the unit, we have put there's 2, 4, 6, 7 counterweights. So each of the plates weighs 50 pounds. So we've got 350 pounds worth of counterweights on the back of the unit. This bar that runs between the 2 legs is called the central brake system. So forward is locked. It locks the lifter in place. If you bring it all the way back with your foot, now the lifter can move north and south. And if you kick it all the way down, the 2 back wheels will directionally lock, and you can get down a narrow aisleway with the lathe chuck on the lifter and not have to worry about the lifter swaying all over the place. So I'm going to bring it back to 45. So let's swing it around to the front here and talk about what's going on. So we have an extended leg in the back, and we have a short leg in the front due to us be able to get in to the lathe chuck deposit point. You have 2 lift masts that are doing the lifting, and they're tied in with 1 plate. We do have a limit switch up here, so when the tooling hits the limit switch, it will turn it off. This is completely adjustable on the back side of the lifter. By unloosening these 2 acorn nuts, this will slide, and you can set it where you want, and then once you have it in the place that you want, you can tighten it up, and the tool will come to that position on every upstroke. Okay? So again, you have 2 masts that work together, tied in with a plate. Here's the front of the lifter, short legs, intermediate. On the bottom here, you have a motor gear assembly. So we run the power from the batteries down to the motor gear assembly, which then spins the ball screw and allows us to run the tooling up and down. So that's slow, that's fast up, that's fast on, and that's all controlled by the 4-button remote control on the back of the handlebar here. So here's the tooling. I'll give you a side view of it. So you have an adjustment screw right here. What we've done is we put 250 pounds on here. So it's sticking up in the air a little bit now, but when you put the weight on it, it should be perfectly level. If it needs to be adjusted, you can use the adjustment screw. So all you do is pull a detent pin, you have your chuck loaded in there, it goes all the way out, it locks in place. You put your chuck on, you pull a detent pin, you bring the tool back, it locks back in place. The tool was developed with 2 rollers here, and what you're going to do is you're going to set your chuck in here, and then you will be able to rotate the chuck 360 so you can line up line it up with the shaft or line it up with the bolt pattern to bolt the chuck to the machine. So that's why you have rollers here. And again, you have a handle here. We have a linear slide right here that we're going to move the tooling on. Again, there's a detent pin here to my left. So I'm going to pull that, and then you manually slide the tool all the way out to the end, and the detent pin will lock it in position. So now you're in position to put the lathe chuck on the lathe. And again, these rollers will help you to rotate the chuck while it's in the tool. We have masts that have been cut. So these are kind of short, but you didn't need a lot of stroke in order to get to the drop-off point. The other thing that I wanted to show you is how to charge the batteries. And I will come around the front here and you can see that. I'm going to grab a battery charger. You will get a brand new battery charger with the lifter whenever we ship it. So here's the battery charger. So you have one connector that has 4 pins in it, and that plugs into where you see the charger. And then here's the charger, and then you have a regular 3-prong plug that plugs into 110. And on the battery charger, you have a light system. It goes from orange to red to green, and that will help you to tell you that the batteries are fully charged. It takes about 5 or 6 hours to fully charge the batteries.